Welcome to another episode of Four Kings Podcast. Back like cook crack with more sauce than the Big Mac. See, every week I do that, she just buzzed out laugh because she already know her follow-up is just gonna be, but I got you covered though. More sauce than the Big Mac is C Mac.
Be easy.
Just Jay.
Yeah, got your ass. Oh man. Let's see what we got going on. Yeah.
We don't have going on.
Man, so first and foremost, welcome to another episode of Four Kings Podcast. And remember, it's Four Kings, but queens are welcome. This is an opportunity to reach everybody and anybody. We ain't alienating nobody. So BT, I want you to open it up with I don't know if we want to, because we got new people tonight, but at the same time, just go ahead and do what we discussed, and then I want you to introduce folks to Pastor Osteen.
Oh shit!
So,
all right, before we go to Pastor Osteen, man, we want to give our condolences and our prayers out to the families of the victims of the Buffalo incident. Each and every last one of them, man. Sorry that happened, with the tragedies and everything. Is just sad. So we really got to put our prayers up for this world and these people in their, crazy ways. And we want to send our prayers out to all the families. So if you out there, put that praying hand emoji for the families. Now, I like to start off with something funny. In my book, I always make jokes, but sometimes I just get caught slipping, like when I had that money in that wall. I'm still trying to figure out, how did they find, what was it doing in that wall? I want to fire that plumber so bad, but I can't find him. I think he took his vacation money and actually vacated because he really got us on that one. But let me go shout out to Joel Osteen. We just joking, man. It's all jokes.
So this week we're going to open up with, let me see. We ain't nobody chiming in, shouting out. So first off, Ray Bud couldn't be here this week. He got to take care of some business. So shout out to our brother Ray Bud. Shout out to Fight's Corner. Shout out to Fight the Barber. Hey, you seen it in the credits. If you need a cut, holla at Fight, make the appointment. He's on Square. Make the appointment. It's super easy. Put your card on there. No problems. Get your fade. Set your time. None of them other issues. And we're here to have regular barbershop talk. So we're going to get it popped off with this one. So this week in the news, this week in the world of what we like to do with social media, there was a comment that got posted, or a meme, if you will. There was a meme that got posted. Here you go. Oh, my boy Kevin. What up, Kevin? Yeah. Appreciate it. Hey, as long you're on military time, long as you ain't on CPT, all right?
Low-key, we stay on it, ain't
Well, no, we was pretty much on time this week. Yeah, we was on time.
I'm CPT to the death of it. I ain't gonna lie.
So what I will say is,
if I'm there early, I'm 5 minutes late.
He ain't never lied about that. So first, we gotta get into this topic. We were talking about Michael Blackson before we went live tonight, and he's trending now because of him and his wife have an agreement where he can have a side chick once a month, right? And so a lot of women are like, nah, that ain't right. I know your worth, which is the title tonight. That's the theme tonight. So we're gonna stick with knowing your worth. Now, why do you think that works for Michael Blackson, but it can't work for somebody else, or the women can't have a side dude in this situation?
So you can go.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
Because niggas too broke to afford multiple chicks at once. And Michael Blackson is a wealthy guy, and honestly, he was open with his chick, and they end up coming to agreement because I was told that at first she was on that issue. She was I just want him to myself. But then she realized some Africans have multiple wives.
Boy,
I need you to be my confidant. You know what they call it?
concubine. You got it.
You will be my concubine. Follow me. I know the way.
In my country. That's all I gotta say. But Jamie, what you got on it?
I mean, hey, to each his own, honestly. What works for you is what works for you. But like we have discussed before, if you are able to do it, then I should be able to do it as well, and there should be nothing said.
And who knows? She ain't getting piped up while he.
Nah, because he said that she could have a female.
Yes, any female she wants, but
she can't have a dude.
And she agreed to it. So who do you call? So who's in the wrong at that point? The one that set the rules or the one who accepted it?
So this was actually being talked about this morning on the radio.
Good point.
And a lot of different people called in, gave they views or whatever. A lot of people said they need to sit their ass down. This don't make no sense. Then there were some guys that actually called in, and they were saying how they actually have dated women that's fine with it. They want to see them with other people. Some people actually do get turned on by that.
Really?
By seeing their partner going ham on somebody else.
Really?
Yes.
So those are the women who I would consider to not be
Hey.
Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. This is the first time I've ever heard this from a person. It was about 2 years ago. It was he was Caucasian. No, he was Hispanic.
I'm about to say, yeah, one of them
he was Hispanic.
Assimilated into the white culture.
No, he was Hispanic, and he was and he had told me, he had confessed, I guess you may say, and it was probably about like 3 of us back there, and he said that if he see his chick getting smashed by another dude, it turns him on. That was the first time I've ever heard of that.
But in order to do that, your ego got to be in check. I mean, it's almost the same mentality as having somebody who works in the porn industry and not being okay with them getting piped down or you know what I'm saying, for everybody to see it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be okay with this person on your arm. Either they, I'm just saying,
you got to be 1,000 with yourself, yeah.
This got to be right in here, and this got to be right here.
So that
in that order,
that kind of takes it to the aspect of voyeurism. Like you don't have a problem with sitting back and watching, regardless who the person is. There go your boy. Sit back, hey noise. You'll sit back and watch another couple have sex or watch your partner with someone else.
I guess it's just I guess people are starting to realize that it's all about who's doing it and how they feel. Because actually, if you and your partner like it, then who's to say who don't?
That's true, but I also think the other aspect of that is the money. Because you look at the porn stars, if you making money, this is how you make your money. It's two folds to that. It's like, okay, you can't tell me not to do it because this is how I bring money in. And you probably the breadwinner in this situation. And then not only that, and in the other aspect of it of this is now what we've grown to accept. You can't tell me to shut it down now because you accepted me as this. So on the flip, for like let's talk about just money all the way. What Fight say? Fight say I'm not that strong. Hey, a lot of people ain't that strong. Fight, I ain't that strong. I could not date a woman who had an OnlyFans or was getting piped down on the regular, and then like you get smoke. Nah, it ain't, and vice versa. My old lady,
especially if you see the tapes and she going ham with that nigga, and you dive in,
but
and
you
she
gotta
just
think
like.
About it, though. But you gotta think about it though. When it comes to porn, OnlyFans, whatever it is you want to call it, of course I'm getting paid for this, so I'm gonna show my ass.
Oh, Calvin went in. Well, the status, money changes everything, and everyone has a possible price. women change up their standards and dreams when they're in a position with a male.
Yes.
I got my eyes rose up when I see you, Ray.
I got to cut you off. That's right. Money changes everything. And that's what a lot of people was like, know your worth. If you mess with a dude that is $1 million dude, and you trying to set the same standards that you would with somebody who's in the same socioeconomic class, it ain't gonna work. He making $1 million before you even come into this, and he's had plenty of options beforehand. Now you're gonna tell him, okay, now it's only just me now, and he gonna look at you like.
I got 3 chicks in my den right now. What the hell you mean just you?
So that's why you have like Mimp Hits when he was dating he was, I don't know if he's married, he was dating
we heard about it.
Wayne's baby mama. They were married. Okay. She allowed him the hall pass. Right. So you have situations like that where money changes the trajectory of a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't subscribe to that. Be like, oh, well, if you got money or not, you're gonna treat me like this. But then that brings up the other scenario that we were talking about.
But that's key word.
What?
You said it yourself. They will be like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we've all know that you got people out there that's in positions to where they don't want to. We got women out there. I don't know about men, but you got women out there that's in the position to where this guy is providing every single thing you need.
Come on now.
And he providing this lifestyle that you're getting accustomed to because you walk into the Galleria, that's our fancy place in Houston. You walk into the Galleria and you don't have a limit. But then you dealing with, what do you say, Pookie or Ray Ray, and I'm gonna change Ray Ray. we dealing with Pookie, and he's not making that. He's not in that tax bracket. He into barely 4 figures a check, and he don't have that because you can leave him and get somebody else easily with around that tax bracket.
Because see, that goes into
he can't make those. He can't make those type of,
That goes into the other scenario where the woman was a stay-at-home wife. The husband worked. He made all the money, and then she asked. So basically, it said, "My husband works, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. He's the most unselfish person I know. I handle the finances, and he never said or acted like it was his money. Mm-hmm. It's our money." Anyway, he is upset with me because he found out that I had a bank account he knew nothing about. I've been making money online and keeping it from him. He says that's the problem, and that I've been making money online, but I keep it from him in the event of a divorce someday. He said that women keep stashes of hidden money in case of a marriage failing, and it's like a man keeping a side chick in case the marriage fails. I don't know if I subscribe to that, but
the only way I can see that is the dishonesty. That's it.
So
I think that's the only thing that I can picture in that. You can't compare a side chick to extra money on the side.
You damn right. You can't compare a side chick to the money on the side, because if you marry somebody, you marry them for who they are, where they are, or the potential of where they can be. But at that point in time, when you get with them, you with them for where they at. So if they come into the money afterwards, then that's a whole nother conversation. But if they had money when they met you, then and then now you stashing money to the side.
But you gotta think about that though. 9 times out of 10, that's what women have always heard. I can honestly say that I have heard numerous times that you should always have an additional bank account for a rainy day.
Rainy
don't tell
day.
Your right hand with your left hand.
No. That's a rainy day. You know what?
And that rainy day could be the day that nigga decide he want to cook.
But
I think that's only cool if y'all talked about it.
Exactly. So this is what I say.
Because if you sneaking money, go make your point. If you sneaking money from your dude, that's a little bit disloyalty, ain't it?
So I have to pose two scenarios in this situation. So the one that went viral about where the chick was on the date. The chick was on the date, and I don't even know how it got to the point where.
So basically, with her, they went on their first date. She gave him gas money. She paid for her own food, and because she did not want to go back to his house, he told her to walk home. I have a problem with that.
So I felt like I didn't know that she gave him gas. I thought it was that he picked her up, they went on a date, and when she didn't want to go back to his house, he said, I need you to pay for gas, need you to pay for your own meal.
Shit, I already gave it to her.
Already did that.
See, she was a champ off the rip, and anybody, that's a diamond in the rough.
But then again, that's kind of like mixed signals like a mother, though.
You can't, she didn't give me gas money. Now
she gave you gas money,
bro.
No, and she got a good heart. She's a good-hearted person, but at the same time, dudes are ignorant.
What was the
dudes are ignorant.
Signals, though?
If you riding for me to where you want to pay for a nigga food,
it was their first date.
Good point.
Exactly.
He's just a roach.
Right. So he was trying to go back and clap cheeks, and
that's not what she wanted to do.
Facts.
But then again, I guarantee you, even though you're right, I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, she's still messing with that dude.
Nah.
Because even on the post, if you go to her post, she even posted, but y'all don't know the whole story. After she didn't expose him for what she exposed him for.
The whole story meaning like all the intricate details that went into that, because you're only gonna see a snippet of what she posted. Mm-hmm. But it's probably people that was bashing her, and that's how she was like, you don't know the whole story.
I mean, I can see it both ways. I can definitely see it both ways because we only saw that part of the clip. So who's to say that he didn't apologize and then take her home? He
could have. Now that part.
Yeah, because he could have just been pissed. He could have been pissed that, he thought that he was getting lucky.
Right.
But I guarantee you, they probably still messing around.
But don't just assume that you're going to get lucky. Like, did we discuss that?
I just think it's crazy that, I mean, it's live on her part that she was actually that humble to do that. But I think it's crazy that you get picked up by a dude that go on a date and this nigga tell you he ain't got no gas money and you stay on the date and you continue to allow him to take you to a damn place to eat.
But she could have been the kind of chick that once he opened the door, she got in the car if he was that kind of guy, because he might,
he didn't seem like it.
Chivalry is dying quick if it ain't already dead. And she seen he had no gas. Well, hey, go on, stop at the gas station because I'm not gonna put myself at risk riding in this car with you where the gas tank is where it is.
That's right.
And then turn around and we be on the side of the road AAA. So now let me go ahead and put something in the tank so we can get where we're going. And then this is being cognizant and having the hindsight of who you dealing with. She might have knew what his money situation was. So she knew, well, we going out, I'll pay for it. Because it wasn't about it. What you shake your head for?
If we have discussed what your money situation is, and you know that you really don't have the money for us to go out, we could do something at home.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing about that. Not a lot of people, and I'm gonna say people because a lot of women, it's just difficult because the dating scene has changed drastically. The layout of the land has changed, and so a lot of women equate a date to having the actual scene so they can go somewhere and take Instagram photos and everything else. So
I guess I just look at it differently because I'm older.
Right. And so let's see what he say. Last thing I'll speak on about somebody having an OnlyFans. Because we know somebody with OnlyFans, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there.
That's not what he means.
On you.
We got to talk about
that one. Huh? You talking about the one with the OnlyFans? On you.
Nah.
Not that one?
So
I'm talking about. Okay, I don't want to know.
So yeah, I mean, so in that regards, then yes, see, V get it. So what we saying is that, because of situations like that, that's why you do train or instill within your daughter at a young age, if you ever go out with a boy, don't ever put yourself in a position where you could be stranded. However, that's dating. Once you get into a marriage, you got to understand a marriage really supposed to function like a business. So if you get a divorce, you're going to get a portion of the money. Hold on, Fight saying something. And then that is why she's able to opt out of the investment. Didn't I just say business? Hello.
Yeah, that was a
hello.
Yeah.
And then Kyvan said, sounds like a home date to me. Fellas should know where they at in life and move accordingly.
Ew.
They don't set yourself up for the fail, Kings.
Good point.
So wait. So that I'm glad we gonna table that and come back to that, Kyvan. So if you're gonna date, you have to date within
your tax bracket.
There you go. Hey, know your goddamn work. Know your goddamn work.
Know your work.
So now, if we married and you got and you're controlling the finances, nigga, you're the dummy anyway. She's controlling the finances and it's your money. So you don't know what's going on with your own money. There's a problem in that particular situation to begin with. Now, I understand that some men's strong point ain't finances.
YouTube froze.
YouTube froze. Okay, we'll come back to it then. And she said, I don't believe she was truly stranded. It was the audacity situation.
I agree with that. It was the audacity. Because she also, from the clip from when I watched it, she was basically saying he was staying on his phone. And he was like, yeah, because you ain't trying to go back and do nothing.
Well, that was the disrespect part when that came in. When he found out she wasn't going back to the crib.
He got on his phone.
He probably started trying to set something up.
And that's when I said I would have started knocking shit off the table.
But
hopefully this next one got some gas cash too.
And Uber's an option in that situation too. So, but in pertaining to long-term marriage, if we know finances ain't always our partner's strong point. So yeah, if you step in and handle finances, cool. But if you one of them dudes that can handle your finances, then if you making this kind of money and she stay at home, you should have some kind of checks and balances in place. That's first. And the other part about that is if it's our money because he's making the money, then heifer, I'm sorry, you wrong. Because you making the money, and if his money is our money and your money is yours, that's a problem.
Big problem.
You should be, because my money is not for us to live off of, and then you do what you want to with your money. That's a huge problem.
That's not a partnership.
That's not a partnership. That's not a business deal. So you have to be able, if I'm paying everything in and allotting you a lifestyle and you're making money on the side, that money should be going to something productive rather than you squandering off money for a rainy day in case we get a divorce. Like,
yeah, that's like if somebody was endorsing in Four Kings and we supposed to be in business together, right? But
we are taking sponsors.
But I go and find somebody to sponsor in us, but don't tell you.
Yeah.
And then I take the money that they're paying us and put it in my own account for when we go bad. But with the intentions of self-gain.
Correct.
Instead of saying, oh, well, shoot, we got this other account where I got this guy, he's been putting money in and we good.
Right.
Because my intentions is not to let him know. So you can only assume that it's self-gain,
you got, being selfish and self-preservation.
Yeah, because how can you build a relationship off of trust if you ain't got, if you already putting them into the negative when the first start?
Trust. That's what it came to.
I guess for me, I just look at it a little different because
Wait.
Shit.
What is your dudes love saying? I don't want my chick out here exposed to the world in the streets. Same nigga don't be done sent 50,000 peen pics, but pressed about another man spending bread on his chick. She cheating and stealing. That's it. And then problem is I've run across many women who feel the man's money is our money and their money is theirs. Drum roll, their money still.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I feel like that.
Okay.
But I guess because with me, I don't look at it as a business. It's business. Even though yes, that is what it is. You scratch my back, I scratch your back.
Hello.
When you fall short, I should be there to pick
There you
up,
go.
vice versa.
Yeah.
Partnership.
Yes, it's a partnership.
Business.
But at the same time,
It's a
I
contract.
guess because I've never just been really the one that just stayed home. Now, when I did, that was different. But ever since then, like it's been okay. You got it, I got it. Whatever. We in this together.
Hello.
Yeah.
Now I have learned
Come on, say DC.
to definitely still have my own bank account. I don't believe in that joint bank account stuff. No.
Now I can agree with you on that because having joint bank accounts does create a lot of stuff, and the communication got to be open, and it's a lot of stuff to go into bed. Having a joint bank account,
right? Because
so,
if I check the statement,
right,
and I see some unusual things,
right,
we got a problem,
right. So,
nigga, you bought an OnlyFans?
Oh,
I ain't mean to dive back into it. Nostradamus, but nigga, you bought an OnlyFans with the
but
joint
not even
account?
that. Like if you know me, you know, like I love tennis shoes.
What's up, Steph?
Ones. So if I see that you done went to the shoe store and you done bought a pair of shoes, I'm in that mug looking like
yeah. Where they at?
You know what that
Which
make me
ones
think
is
of?
they?
You know where's mine?
You know what that make me think of? Y'all remember Martin?
Yeah.
When
the episode where he bought the shoes. Yeah.
Hasi.
And she got them Air Gordons.
Yeah, them Airwax. Them Airwax.
Like, you know, it's just questions. So I don't do joint bank accounts. I don't.
I mean, to each his own, but that's a situation where you got to address that based on, you know what I'm saying? Each situation is different. It's not a one size fits all. However, then you have situations where it's not instilled and what to do with your money in dating and in marriage, because you have some women who don't even aspire to marry.
True. Because
you have generational women who stays on the system, you know, I mean, using the resources that's alley. They know how to, they seen their mama do it. They seen grandmama do it. They seen, you know, auntie, everybody else utilize the system. So they want to be able to get that slice of the pie. It was a clip. I'm going to play it real quick, and I want to get y'all's input on it, because the way she framed it, to me, it's actually two, because it was one that came out before that, and then it was one that it just tied in so perfectly. I'm like, this woman's crazy. I mean, well, and if we don't stop, if we don't be more active in our kids' lives, this kind of stuff is going to perpetuate.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because literally you have social media.
A man that makes $100,000 a year or less, I would prefer $1 million or more. And there are men for me. So if you make $100,000 a year, that's great. There are women for you, but that woman is not me, baby. But do you make that? Men with money who want to provide do not care what you make. They mostly care about how you make them feel, how you look. So stop trying to compare the two. You can't be logical, because logically we're made up different. But it's harder to be with a man with money because he don't need help with the bills. So your job and degrees don't really mean that much. You got to bring something else. Y'all would be with somebody that treats you bad for money. Your mom was with somebody that treated her bad for love. Stop bashing women who is turned on by a man who has figured out how to provide on a large scale. Blame God, not us.
Stay solid. Nice guys always finish off where they started.
I came in perfect.
First off, I'm not understanding. Like, how
Was that Nicki Minaj?
exactly? That is exactly
She
what I was
sounded
about
just
to
like
say.
Nicki, but it wasn't her.
How long has she practiced that voice? Because I know that is not her original. That is not her. That's not her original.
That's why you got a high percentage of single women. And I blame every person out there that's telling these women that's not 7-figure wife material to go out there and find a man that's 7 figures. And y'all don't shoot me or judge me because I said that, and it's true.
But then on the flip side of that, You have women that say they don't need a man. They're gonna figure it out on their own. And then you have this lady, I think her name is Just Speaks. Blew my mind with this one.
Group of 8th grade girls, and I asked them to tell me what their goals were. This one particular young lady said that she wanted to have 2 kids. So I said, so are you going to have a husband? And she said, no. And I said, please tell me why you would choose in the 8th grade to have a goal of having 2 kids and not be married. She said, because if I'm married to him, I can't collect child support. And then she said, why should I marry a man that I have kids by? He might have issues or something. He might be on drugs. And I said, well, if he's too bad to be your husband, do you really think he's going to make a better father?
You know,
That was Jackie Speaks. Yeah.
That was deep as hell.
But this is the part that I'm talking about. This is how we end up with those two skewed perceptions and perspectives. Because if you're not around and this is what you see, you're either gonna shoot low or shoot too far beyond the moon. Like she
said that was
in
deep.
one breath, you had a woman that said, he need to make this money, and I as long as I have access to the money, is what she's saying. The lifestyle, she don't care. But them the kind of chicks that, okay, yeah, you might do all the extra stuff or whatever, but if I get tired of you, you don't bring anything else to the table outside of that.
You're going back in your BBs.
There you go. And what makes you think a man is gonna marry you if you don't? You know what I'm saying? Unless you trap him.
If you automatically come in a relationship with stimulations of what he have to have, you ain't going with pure love. You're going with expectations, but you expecting pure love with expectation.
And the other part about that is that,
because do you want him to love you or do you want him to take care of you financially?
And if you take care of
girl, she just wants financial.
She wants financial. Okay.
That sounds
She's
like
not worried about
what
what else he do. She just wants to look good, be treated good. The lavish lifestyle. Let me not say be treated good. She wants the lavish lifestyle.
And so if you can't get to the lavish lifestyle, now you want to be able to take government assistance and run with it. So now it's, I'm going to have 2 kids and I'm going to get child support and I'm going to get daycare and I'm going to get housing. I'm going to get all of these things. Just going to bleed this because this is what you've been exposed to. So now it's either A or B. If I can't get a man making all this money and get up out of here, I'm going to stay in the same situation and play the part so I can, at least take advantage of the system, get my slice of the pie.
And I hope they know that every nigga ain't finna pay child support.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
So you up there expecting 2 babies from a dude that's crazy and you stuck. Because even if you lock them up, it's not like they're going to lock them up then give you a lump sum of money when they lock them up. No, you're just going to be without.
And the fact that you would consider having kids with somebody but not be thinking about marriage, that's a problem. Even though, statistically speaking, people are not looking to get married. Those who are getting married are staying married longer than they did in the past. However, it's a lot more single people out in the world than it used to be. We now, America has 90 million people that are officially single. 4.2 million of those are single Black women. Oh no, is it single Black women or single women? I think it's single women.
Yeah, I believe it's probably just single women.
I think it's single women. I could be wrong. I checked my stats on that. It might be single Black women though. I think because I wanted to know the breakdown of it, and I want to say it might have been
It's a ton of Black single women.
It was 4.2 million Black single women households. Now, out of that same 4.2 million, it was, I think, 39% of them had never been married.
Wow.
And then out of the ones that were single, 23% of them had been divorced. I might be crossing. Hold on. I wrote it down. I want to be specific about this.
You in these notes.
You know,
I got a question. I got
prepared.
a question for both of y'all.
Mhm.
How many?
I'm lying. Hold on, real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
52% of single mothers have not been married.
Wow.
29% have been divorced. So now, do the math. Over half of them that have never been married, and then you got a smaller, about 30% of them that tried marriage out and then ended up getting divorced.
Golly, that's horrible. But I got a question for y'all, and I got a question for y'all. How many people out there that's wealthy? And when I mean wealthy, I mean rich. How many of those percentage out of a percentage? How many do you think was with the person, the woman that they married to, was with them when they was broke?
It's only a very small percentage because the ones that typically fall into that category are the athletes, and they typically they met in college or high school sweethearts, and then they kept up with them along the way till they broke into NFL, NBA, baseball, whatever it was.
Say welfare goes.
Yeah, so it literally. You know what? I just listened to that. I heard it the wrong way, but it went well. Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo. Hey, it's a message in there. It's a message in there.
That's what they for. Welfare people.
Oh my God.
But it's a very small percentage of people that stay together before the money comes. It's typically after the money then came. Now you still acquire the status. You got the options.
They don't fit. She or he does not fit that new image.
There you go.
So
we were so happy poor, but when we got rich, it's when the signals got crossed.
Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, like a lot of the for example,
a 36-year-old woman back in Houston.
She's a middle school AP. And she said she doesn't mind being a single mom and me just giving money and being away in the military. Calvin, but wants to get married when I but want to get married when he comes to retirement so I can come home and live off the checks.
You crazy and a scammer.
Accomplished woman with a city girl mentality.
God damn.
Some women just trying to live their life.
But no, so that's the thing. And that's what we were talking about. She see the potential and the longevity in being with him, the benefit. See, she making okay money. She's assistant principal at a middle school. So she is making decent money. It ain't just, life-changing money, but she's making decent money. And she know the benefits that come with being a spouse of somebody in the military. So you got that veteran fund to tap into. Right. And then them checks, they going to keep coming. So if he kick, right, she gonna get that check too. So I mean, she's smart, but yeah, city girl mentality.
I mean, my thing is this: if you're gonna be with him, then be with him. Don't be with him because of the money. Don't be with him because of those benefits. Like, if I'm correct, don't get me wrong, I may not be. I've never been in the military, but if you marry someone that's in the military while they are in service, I think you get a check.
Yeah,
let me know if that's right.
You do. So, you do. You get a check if they in the service.
I might as well just go ahead and marry you.
How you living your life?
Oh yeah. You right.
Yeah. Like I might as well go ahead and marry you. I'm not gonna sit up here and wait for you to retire.
That's why I say
then I'm gonna be. I can miss out.
You gotta know your worth because look.
I'm not saying that's me. I'm not saying I'm that type.
Like I knew a dude that knew his worth. Like, cause he was we was at a place. It was a long time ago. It was off of Kirby. I can't think of the name. It was a lounge, and it was before Lumen and all them got over there. It was a different lounge. I think it was Touch. I think that's what it was called, huh?
I've never heard of it. Them things change names.
Yeah. So, but the long story short. The guy was on and he had his wife. She was on the floor dancing. And one of my friends, he was on the floor dancing. And I guess the chick liked him. So she jumped on him. And when she jumped on him, she kissed him.
Ooh,
wait a minute.
Negative.
Now I'm standing by the dance floor.
Negative team leader.
Now I'm standing by the dance floor, and the dude is right there by me. Like her husband is standing right next to me. Now, when I say this dude was wealthy, this dude was having a conversation. Yeah, tomorrow, what you gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna take the jet, probably go to New York. That type of wealthy.
Right.
Now, when I saw the dude, I'm looking at him like, oh shoot, there's about to be some issues. My partner might get knocked off with this. But the dude was in the moment having a good. Go ahead, enjoy her. And I was like, hey man, we don't want no issues. And the guy looked at me and say, if she's stupid enough to leave me to go for somebody else, then have my guess. We do what we want in this marriage. I say, wow.
I mean, like I said, to each his own in their relationships. You know, people know what works best for them in their marriage, relationships, situationships. People know what works best for them.
Yeah, because some people chase, longevity, and some people chase peace.
Right. It's a difference.
So I want to put some things into perspective with what we just talked about. So remember I said it was 4.2 million single black mothers in America, right? Texas has the largest black population.
Oh, shit.
And guess how many black people in the state of Texas?
Too damn many.
4 million.
Wow.
Put that into perspective. That's basically saying the whole state of Texas is a single parent.
Damn.
That's the representation of that population.
Don't bring y'all.
Like seriously, not even just speaking on those stats. At this point, I'm just like, can y'all stop moving here? Like traffic is already enough. God dang.
Let's see. So V said, yeah, you get a check with the person in the military. We know that, however, the spouse doesn't want you anymore, the military will side with the person in the service. That is correct. Mm-hmm. And then Calvin said, only a certain number of years post-retirement. That's why for men, know your worth. and vet, God damn, that's my word.
Vet woman accordingly.
You got to vet the person that you choose to be involved with, because if you don't properly vet them, whatever happens to you once you get involved with them, that's on you. You got to vet that person. It takes time to quality vetting, okay? And I ain't talking about seeing a veterinarian. You got to vet them.
But you think that's one of the things why we have so many single mothers out there in the state, is because they're all looking for, I'm not going to say filthy rich, because every woman don't want no nigga that's filthy rich.
No.
They are looking for a guy that has everything together already financially. No drama, no baby mama, no, issues. Got his life together.
So B, I don't want to cut you off, but I was talking to my LB, for those who don't know, line brother, and we had a conversation on the disproportionality of the goals. So we now just heard this lady talk about an 8th grader with this is her goal. A lot of white women go to college to find a mate. Why? Because they'll find somebody of comparable background or going in the same direction. Black women don't really go to school to find a mate. It happens, but they don't. It's not in overwhelming numbers. They go to get an education, which is why a lot more of them graduate than the dudes.
Typical,
right?
Yeah.
So, but they're looking to find a mate after they've become successful, obtained status, got a career, things like that. We can appreciate that, but at the same time, you also realize that the dating pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller as the more time goes on while you're excelling in your career. Mm-hmm. The likelihood of you finding somebody that's more comparable, or both of you coming together without baggage, becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, because as life happens.
I mean, I feel like when
you never heard about that one.
When it happens, because they have been so focused on their career, and like you said, it gets very small. That's when they start to just say, okay, you know what? Let me just date him. Let me see what he about. Let me just do this. Da, 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 da. And it gets to that point to where now they just trying so many different people that they settle.
But we can't forget about the whole face. The whole face does exist.
Yeah.
Oh, of
So
course.
bodies on bodies on
I'm sorry.
bodies.
I will put it
But-
out there. I am one that encourages the whole face. Baby, have fun. Enjoy yourself. But strap it up while you do it.
Say, man, if you're going, I'm telling you, don't do the whole face for too long because your window gets
Yeah,
shot.
don't do it for too long. But
Them walls.
if you know, some people just never got to experience the whole face.
When he go
So-
down, he
Go out
start
there
to
and
talk,
enjoy yourself.
and he echo. When he go down and he start to say something while he eating and the echo.
Now look,
Walls gone.
we just learned that it's a muscle.
Correct.
Kegels, baby. Do your Kegels.
No.
Shout out to Dr. T. Shout out to Daniel Payne. We appreciate y'all for coming through. Dr. T met her husband
In school.
in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was intern. He was an intern or something. It was something like that. But they met at the coffee shop. Meeting people at the right time has a lot to do with it, and then finding the values and making that decision to say, you know, where you trying to go in life. She knew she wanted to be a doctor, and in order to do that, to put her dating life on hold and then try to go out and become a doctor and then try to date would have changed the layout completely.
So
right.
Yeah.
So I agree. Let's see. V around the time my peen get limp. And she said whole phase is real. Yeah. Shout out to
me and go through them phases too. It's just different. We don't call it a whole phase.
It's the whole face.
It's a whole phase. I'm just gonna say it's
but I'm saying dudes don't never pay, you know, we just been with a lot. I just been with a lot of chicks. That's all we say.
So
and I feel like when that happens, when guys are out there being in their whole phase, they might actually miss out on their bright one for them. Like you might actually have her at home, but you out there doing whole shit, and now she gone, and you can realize, damn, I done fucked up.
So Calvin just made a hell of a point. He said some of the blame is on both of us as a man. Again, we're not vetting women correctly, especially when young. We just go off of looks, and if the box is fire, and that moment in life phase. So yeah, I agree.
A lot of people get stuck in that phase.
No matter what you call it, it's all the same. Okay, V. But we got to look at everything as a whole. So it ties into actually truly being happy, because it was another clip that we shared in our group where the young chick, she said, don't never let your man leave the house with his balls on full. He got to leave the house with them on empty.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
So if he leaving them on empty, so if that's what you subscribe to, I mean, it sounds good.
We should have pulled that up so they can see that. That little clip
every day.
Seeing it, I'm gonna tell you right now, that little clip was basically clickbait. Because when I went back and dug deeper into that clip, and she's a very attractive lady. I think she was born in New Orleans or Louisiana or something like that.
Oh shit! Shout out to the boo.
And she was living out in, I think, Chicago or Maryland or something. She's not living in there though, but she has a son. So for you to sit up here and make that kind of comment, how does that scenario work within that? You have a son, but you gonna not let him leave the house, with his balls full. Like,
I don't think she was speaking like towards her son.
No, I'm not saying she's not speaking toward. Come on now.
I was about to say, I don't want to talk about her.
The dude. No, she's trying to be funny. I see what you're trying to do there. About her. I see what you're trying to do there.
But then again, on that aspect, she could have been living and learning. Like, she could have been learning as she was making the mistake of letting her dudes go out with full balls. I hate to say that. That sounds so weird. But she probably could have been living and learning. And about time she realized what she could have done better, that man was gone.
But the thing about that is, bro, you can't put the fact that, okay, in a perfect world, in a utopia of what this is, in a nirvana of relationships, then yes, getting up every morning, getting it popped off, going out into the world, and everything is lovely. That's not something that can happen every day.
Exactly. That ain't happening.
And so that's why I'm like, for that statement to be made, I look at one, where she is in her life, and two, what's really going on in the age. Because, you know, if you got to be at work by a certain time, the other person got to be at work at a certain time. If y'all working different shifts, you got to find, and then you got she has a kid. Kids change the land of
Never lying.
So kids is number one cock blocker. Shout out
if you
to
want
kids.
to.
I love both my little cock blockers. But
go,
you know,
go ahead and do it, babe. Just go ahead and Daddy, damn. What you got to
lock the door. You know,
yeah, you ain't closed the door good.
But it's a lot of that comes in, and it's not always feasible for it to happen. We've already talked about how many times people have sex once a week as a married couple, and when you're single, it's up a tick. But
especially if you're a married couple with kids.
I agree with you, V.
Okay, so here we go. We get into the comments. So we don't call it a whole phase. It's our journey into
a damn journey into the rite of passage. No.
I mean, hey, I get what you're saying. And then
but back to the lady, is it any different from these dudes that's going out here that's single? That's going out here. The way you love a woman is you got to treat her with the utmost respect.
Say,
and you got to
look at
look at.
And Derek, he cheated with his gal, but you got dudes out there that's single that's going in on how women should be treated. Oh, you got to uplift her as a queen.
I'm not going to
lie. Got nothing in a situation.
A lot of people do that. It's just the same way that clip was introduced. It's clickbait because it sounds good, but it ain't. It's not the reality.
You ain't living by it.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way you can. Oh, you finna leave? Okay, let me suck your dick. You ain't finna.
I mean, but that's like
that's not happening every morning.
Not every morning.
But what if she does empty his balls and he still go out there and do what he want to do?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's a what if though.
It ain't no damn what if.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If you empty his balls, and the one thing, and shout out to R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. He says a man should be living in his purpose. If you have a purpose, and you have a partner, once your nuts is empty, you going to fulfill your purpose. Like you're not worried about it. Might look good, but man, I ain't gonna lie. One time I was getting that, you know, because after you get so long where you ain't had it, everything start to look good. You like, yeah. Be looking at stuff you ain't. Damn, man. Why does bread look so tip? You in the bread out.
Why they got to put these moon cakes together like titties?
I do feel like if y'all can get it in real quick in the morning before y'all leave to go to work, I do feel like it does make your day go good.
Nah, I mean it's a great start, but I ain't gonna lie. So I'm gonna give you another stat, and this is just something I found out, and this is hella interesting to me. They always crack jokes on why men go to sleep after sex, right? So your body produces it's a chemical. I can't remember the name of the chemical, but it's an endorphin that naturally puts you to sleep once you climax. So you're gonna be going to work. Yeah, I feel good in the movie.
And that also explains like when and I don't encourage nobody to out there touching themselves, but it also kind of go hand in hand when a dude be like you be wanting it, and then and now you the hell I was thinking about. I don't even want it.
Like
look, V right. So V say, if we go before work, I ain't going to work.
I mean, I think it's just based off of how the session go. Like, is it a real quickie?
Nah.
You know, or y'all about to just rip each other's clothes out to where you finna to be really, really late to
Right.
Either way, I agree with you because you ain't finna do that every day.
If you and not only that, but if it happened in the most dire time, I ain't gonna lie, it can save your man life because he can make the wrong decision. if he ain't thinking clearly, he be like, what kind of bread do I need? Do I need
what is it doing bread?
Because bread, because the buns. You know what I'm saying? The fluffiness, the texture.
Wait,
you know
why are you saying the buns? And I just instantly thought of Sausage Party. Don't get me wrong, that's because I like that movie. And I just
no, we know why you thought about Sausage Party. Sausage.
Like,
no. All right.
No, but literally, I just thought about Sausage Party.
Don't hit me.
So, but no. So, but yeah, we talk about that, and it's not a realistic thing. What is a realistic thing is, let's see. Hold on, wait a minute.
I don't even think a man gonna want it every morning if he was getting it like that.
I go in all the time, every time. Sorry, not sorry. All right, V. All right, there you go. Tune your own horn and shit. There you cut it out.
Kirby vacuum in the morning there.
So now we get back to truly knowing your worth, right? So the issue that I have here recently is, with the passing of Kevin Samuels, the internet has gone in on a frenzy. My grandfather, and for y'all don't know, my grandfather is an OG noob. Okay, so let me just tell you. So I got it honest. So he sat up here and was like, "Well, why are they mad at that Kappa? What did he do?" And I was like, Papa, you don't remember I showed you the clip, the average at best clip? That was the one that
got him
sent
on
Kevin Samuels into the manosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed him and brought it back to his memory about why it was what it was. And to be honest, Kevin, you hit it earlier in the comments. And Marlon Wayne said it in his quote, and I gotta read the quote to y'all when Marlon said it, because for me, he summed it up in such a way. It was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was beautiful.
Yeah.
He said, "Love him or hate him, he spoke his truth. We can view truth as hate, but sometimes his bold medicine didn't taste so sweet. And if you hate it, why? Tune in. Why call in? Because healing comes in many forms. His was some nasty ass tasting medicine. There's no right and wrong in this love shit. There's just discovery. Thank you for those you healed, and we forgive you if there were any damages because we know your intentions was to heal. And honestly, fuck you was hilarious. It was hilarious the way that he did it. He did his thing.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
In this moment, I pray for you and your family and all those you've healed that can't call into your show. I hope you can heal more, reach more, and in heaven and rest well. Appreciate you trying to hold on and express masculinity."
Wow. Shout out to
Marlon Wayans for that one.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that they were just looking for chinks in the armor. Even when this man was alive, they were like, "Oh, he gay. That's why he talk about women like this and the third, do woo woo woo." And then what happened? You find out he wasn't gay. I know it was a man that was messing with him in Oklahoma and this, that, and the third. I'm like,
I mean, there was a very, very questionable photo at one point.
Yeah,
but it was not a photo of him and a man. It was just a questionable photo of him.
Right.
Where he was like,
he did have those ways.
He was raised by his mom. He was raised in the church. He did have a lot more, but you gotta.
And even on that picture, his hair was like real straight, not straight, but straight.
Say, man, and coming up before he got the beard. You're right. It was some, but growth, transformation, and everything that he embodied, it was to make you a better human being and a better version of yourself. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people miss that because it was how he presented the message. A lot of times,
he was ripping the Band-Aid off.
A lot of times it was the message that people needed to hear, but they weren't ready to receive it because of how he he presented it. Like, you can cuss a woman out, but if you say, "Sweetie, hey, honey bear, you're such a woo,"
Yeah.
you know, and be like, you can be such a bitch sometimes, but God damn it, you know, but you know what? You do that well. Nice, nasty, went over a whole lot better.
Was, bitch.
You might have only heard bitch, but it was other stuff in there that kind of smoothed it over a little bit before.
That's how women is. That's all they hear is.
No, you
just called me a guy. They ain't hear none of the other sweet stuff. That's all they heard was that word.
All I heard was bitch.
And so for those who said that he was solely ripping women.
And he bring the women to reality, but keep going.
No,
bad.
But no, because he even went in on some guys that called in.
So the thing about it was, it's just like Marlon said, why call in?
Right.
If you and it's because he talked in such a way to where, as a man, if as men, we know, yeah, I ain't that. So I ain't calling in to try and tell him I'm finna correct him. And no, I'm not saying everything that he said was 100% correct, because nobody's 100% right.
Right.
But what I will say is he made some damn good points, and he has a success rate. I'm gonna play this clip, and this was one of his earlier videos, and this is like, come on now. If a man say all this, you really got to be able to hear some of it.
I mean, but even with that, people have to also respect the fact that it was his opinion.
You gone.
Yeah.
Because this is important. This stopped being about Kevin Samuels a long time ago. Candle of the evening. Last night we're going to be doing Cedra 11. Let's put that right there. Fragrance of the evening. Actually, I wore this one today. Tom Ford's new one. Tuberose new. Kind of dig that.
You putting you on.
But tonight we're rocking Roja Dove Amber Oud. Why do people never want to deal with what I'm saying? Because you can't really defeat what I'm saying. This is why they're coming at the statistics, the facts, the data. Now they're starting to actually come at you. The ladies that watch this show and the men that watch this show, now these people are starting to come after you as if you are not smart enough, bright enough to understand what you want, need, and desire in the world. They're coming like they know what's better for you. Watch that. That's what they're doing now. I've seen this progressively. Why? Because this is about money for a lot of these people, businesses and brands, because you're not going over to them and buying what they're trying to sell, their book, their course, their whatever. Over here, we're actually trying to get some shit accomplished. Over there, they're just trying to be right and sell stuff. Understand something. Cut to the bullshit when you talk to him. Say, all right, he's the worst thing next to Satan. What do you got for me? Where are the men over here supporting what you have to say? Where are the pool of eligible, productive, competitive, successful men? Where are the pool of eligible, high-value men that agree with you? Where are they at? Oh, they have none. And as this platform continues to grow, the attention tends to increase. There are plenty of people who feel I don't deserve it. Who are your qualifications and where'd you go to school? And that does not matter. Assume I'm the worst piece of shit in the world and I'm completely unqualified. But am I right? Am I right? Just say he's unqualified. He's not qualified. Well, guess what? If I'm not qualified, don't come over here.
Hello.
If that's what matters to you, if you need to vet somebody's qualifications, but the people who are making these arguments, you're not coming to me for services. You're coming to my platform to talk about me to get yourself some clout. Hello. I get it.
Yeah.
And let me also mention this about this content stuff. Black YouTube.
Now.
I mean, but that's basically what people have done off of his death. Like,
got a clout of it.
Situation with the pastor.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that an actual pastor
went back
out time.
Wait, and that was actually frat too. That's the fucked up part about that.
Oh wow. But that's like you said, a lot of people just don't want to face the truth. Like that, like I remember I watched one episode of his where a lady called in. I think she had like 3 kids.
Oh,
Put that right there.
man.
You probably know what I'm talking about, right?
The one you
When
told
she
her-
called, no, she called in and she said she was expected to make $1 million off of being a therapist.
$1 million.
$1 million. She was expected to make $1 million. She said this. She was trying to convince him, even though he no therapist. She was trying to convince him that the dude she has to marry he have to be 6 figures. He have to be, because every woman that called had that same perspective.
Yeah,
the guy I gotta have, he gotta be this, he gotta be that, and she came up there with it. And this woman didn't have no clue of what or how she was going to get that type of man or lifestyle.
So Calvin said
She didn't even have a house.
Right. His death exposed ugly truths he pointed out of what we dealing with when it comes to our Black women. It was only the ones who know they fit most of his points. But it's time to stop arguing and fighting them, to understand and change, and focus on the Black women who get it or willing to come to the table for understanding and change. That's real. Let the hurt ones go their way, or like Kevin say, die alone.
Yeah. And honestly, thank
it's
God.
Time to move forward, Black men. Don't waste our time, resources, and energy on rebels.
And honestly, he didn't die alone.
So to go back into that. So once again, trying to rip this man apart, any chink in the armor, they was like, oh, he was with a BBW. The chick that they originally thought he was with was the chick that had an OnlyFans. Her name was Afghanistan Shawty, or Afghanistan, something like that.
She had OnlyFans?
She had OnlyFans.
Damn.
As soon as they started linking her to it, she shut everything down and everything. Like her, because what it was, I seen a video of somebody posting stuff, and then they were like, but she deleted everything since then. So
and that's sad that she got to do that just because y'all attacking him. Y'all go and attack her and her business, because even though she was, I think she was a nurse, a registered nurse.
Not her. That was the initial chick was this BBW. They thought it was. Mm-hmm. Then somebody found the actual police report with the woman's information revealed. Oh, and she was what Kevin Samuels always talked about being, because he felt like you should be fit, friendly, submissive, and cooperative. And she fit all of those criteria. It was not because they wanted to poke holes in him and tell him, oh, he was a hypocrite and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. And they still after him. They're talking about he was living in an apartment that wasn't in his name and all this old kind of stuff. And it's like,
who cares?
Hey, yeah, who the hell cares?
The people who hurt people. The people who butt hurt behind this.
Like, do you know how many other people out here living in apartments that ain't in their name?
Hello. You know how many people that's getting housing, people getting housing and renting an apartment out?
No, you don't qualify for
it. Or no, you don't qualify. Hello.
Are balling off of housing. They got the housing, but they never seen your girl. So, you got a old Jag in your girl. That's
they be winning. They be winning. But
that ain't mine. That ain't mine. You the only one driving it.
But when Vivica said what she said about death being his karma, for me, it was like, that was so jacked up. What was the name of the show that they got with her, Claudia Jordan?
It's Cocktails with Queens.
Cocktails with Queens. Cocktail Queens. That's what it is.
Cocktail Queens.
I knew you was going to go there.
You knew it. You knew it.
But this right here was so important. I'm gonna get to this part. Wait a minute.
Using folks stuff who have some. I look at some of the feedback, some of the critiques, and it really shows me the difference between understanding, levels of professionalism, levels of, honestly, ability. When Tommy came over here, I have seen more people come and say, oh, he took it easy on her because she's a pretty woman and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. And because she was a star. Were you watching the same damn interview I was watching? Because I didn't know who that woman was. I didn't know who she was. She looked familiar, but I know who she was. I said it many times in the interview. When I asked her about her family and how many kids, I didn't know she had $2. You guys follow that stuff. You guys follow love and hip hop and all stuff. Y'all are interested in the tea and the blossoms. I saw a woman who was attractive, who had a point of view, and I treated her the same way I treat anybody. I mirror what they give me. Why don't you guys just admit it? You wanted me to tear her apart so I could play a character that you've told people I am. Sorry, I'm not going to dance just because you play a tune.
Oh.
Man.
And 50 said that. No.
But it was a clip where he referenced that show where he talked about how Vivica couldn't. I think it was on the same episode. Is where he talked about Vivica was upset because she couldn't keep a man. 50, yeah. She stuck behind 50 Cent, and quite frankly, she ain't been the same since. So
I think she was always like that. I just think she just couldn't find what she was looking for. Probably because she one of them lost women he was describing it.
Basically,
so
she
all of those women on that show, I believe, are divorced. Claudia Jordan, I don't think she's ever been married, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
But I do know Lisa Ray's divorced.
Yeah.
Vivica Fox has never been married, nor doesn't have any kids. And Selena Johnson.
No, I think Selena Johnson married right now.
She's still married.
I think she's married to somebody else. I think she's married.
It's a second marriage.
But she's still married.
Yeah. All them old hags are a great example of what Kevin talked about.
Why they got
Shout out my dog, Kevin. But y'all so focused on the messenger and not the message.
I ain't worried about none of them but Selena. I'm a fan of Selena Johnson, man. Of her music, of her artistic.
But once again, knowing your worth, these women have already peaked. There's no more anything else after this for them. Yeah, Vivica was smoking hot in the 90s. And after that, and she reconstructed her face and all of this, it was just like.
I think that's what he said in that clip about her. It was something about her face, how I think something about it being crooked or whatever.
Yeah, she held that.
Yeah, I already know Lisa Ray is a Kappa sweetheart. Yes, you didn't have to say that, Jay. Thank you.
That's okay, wife. State your facts.
Oh my God.
State your facts.
But the
Lisa Ray been tossed up by so many goddamn people.
You know what?
But
you remember How Do You Want It? No, Toss It Up. It was Toss It Up.
Nah, she wasn't in that video.
It was Toss It Up or How Do You Want It? She was in one of those videos.
She wasn't in neither one.
Lisa Ray was in one of those.
I got to do
See, Lisa Ray was in one of those with Pop. Toss It Up or
That's sex. That song. I'm gonna play that song when I go home.
What? Toss It Up?
Yes.
Let me see you toss it.
Okay, I stand corrected. She was in the Toss It Up video.
Toss It Up. She was in Toss It Up.
She was in Toss It Up.
But that had to have been before she played Diamond.
That was around the same time. It was around the same time.
Yeah, because Pop. Yeah.
So, but the thing about it is, it's the same concept that we talk about people reaching an apex or reaching a peak and not having anything after that. Like Selena Johnson, wonderful woman, beautiful voice. But she ain't gonna go out and sell no more records like that. Like, just show me where she gonna have a sellout show. She knows her crowd. She knows her audience. It's not growing beyond that. The same for Lisa Ray. The same for Claudia Jordan. The same for Vivica Fox. Her crowd is actually probably getting smaller every time you look up. But that's neither here nor there. When you talk about when we're talking about knowing your worth, if I know I may be a star, but my star power is diminishing, I'm going to change up a little bit on how I look at life and how I look at people. And Lisa Ray, you had a failed marriage. The sister code is dangerous for women at times. Y'all will avoid the truth, reality, just to side with each other and cause compassion, empathy, like trauma bonding. You want to hear something else? You want to hear something else? And on the same breath. With regards to divorces, people are 75% more likely to divorce if a friend is divorced.
Wow.
I don't agree.
Yet think about it. Just like you were saying with the trauma.
I mean, but even with that, like,
girl, you don't need that. You don't need it. And putting the battery in her back to walk away and try to leave. That's why more people who tend to have more successful relationships are with people who are around people who have successful relationships, because they're gonna breathe that positive energy into it. You're not gonna if anybody's having a toxic situation and they come around you, you gotta watch that energy, because I tell
people that anyway. Like, I'm very big on energy, and if I don't like the energy that you're giving me, I'm going to walk away. But that's my choice, because I don't want to take that on. But
because
at the same time, like, Kyvan, like, are you okay?
I agree with you, because
that's my dog, though.
I agree with you, because when you looking at those relationships and they have like that old messy friend. And see, girl, I wouldn't let him talk to me like that.
Come on.
See, that's where it also goes in knowing who should be around you and who you can actually talk to when it comes to getting advice about your relationship. I'm not gonna sit up here if I'm in a relationship with someone, I'm not gonna go ask my single friend for advice, because what can you tell me?
Yeah, but most of the time,
some people will listen. So, well, get it. Wait a minute, hold on. I gotta set it up. I gotta set it up.
How many times you gonna load it?
Oh, because this thing's loaded. So, I don't even got to hear what I got to say at this point. I know what I'm saying. So remember how we talk about people subscribing to people because they make them feel good? You got Tony Robbins sold all them goddamn books in the 80s and the 90s because he was, you got to change your mentality. You got to feel good. And bought books, right? Bam, what they doing now? Not a goddamn thing. Wait a minute. Hold on. People subscribe to Derek Jackson sitting in his car and everything. Well, not people. Women subscribe to Derek Jackson because he told them everything they wanted to hear in order to feel good until he got caught feeling good. And then he had to come and confront that on the couch in his house with his wife, not in his car.
Extra weak, boy.
Wait a minute.
I made a mistake.
Then you got
happened to treating her like a queen, Negro.
Steve Harvey. Everybody loves Steve Harvey. Oh, Steve Harvey this, Steve Harvey that, right? My grandmama, shout out to my grandma. She put me on this one last night. I was like, so how is it that this man could sell a book to tell women to wait 90 days and he on his second, he was messing with the side chick and married her? People forget that shit. My grandma said, yeah, they forgot he's on his fourth marriage. Wait a minute, hold on, time out. This man that told you to wait 90 days, and now you think like a man, act like a woman, but he on his fourth marriage.
It was a really good promotional stunt.
I've never read the book.
And everybody knows what his wife was, what type of woman his wife was before he got with her. She was in the thugs. And what did she do with Steve? You said
upgraded him.
No, she upgraded him. But what did she do?
She upgraded him.
No, what did she do?
She upgraded him.
She ain't finna answer that, boy.
I'm gonna tell you what Jamie said offline.
She went for.
She settled for him. She settled for him.
Period, point blank. She went for.
I don't know if that's a settle when you're dealing with Steve Harvey, because he got so many. You said it. The money, his and in his accomplishments. His accomplishments is. Reload.
She knew that he would still be able to afford her current lifestyle. She wasn't going to have to change anything.
She did upgrade by getting with Steve Harvey because of the type of men,
big ass suit.
But behind the men that she was messing with before he came along. However, because of the quality of man that he was, she settled because the way you got to maneuver around. So here, I'm gonna give you another stat. The rate of people going 50 and up getting divorced has tripled from 1990. Tripled.
Oh, hell yeah.
Then you got people on a second marriage just have a higher rate of divorce than the first marriage, which is 66%.
God dang.
The second marriage, if you're on that second marriage, you are 75% time more likely headed for another divorce. Oh, I'm sorry. 66% the second divorce, 75% the third divorce, the third marriage to a divorce.
Yeah, you make it to a third marriage.
I just feel like if you divorce,
Especially with times right now.
you wasting money.
Third time is not a charm, but this man is on his fourth marriage,
and he found a charm.
No, so what was the reason why?
But technically, she found a charm.
She right. She found a lucky charm. Not the gold.
That's what she found.
But why was what the ex-wife spilled the beans, and you was gonna tell it? So don't back off now.
I mean, I'm just saying. Yes, when they were married, he was cheating with her. Yeah. He was cheating with his current wife.
But what else was?
Because she was doing the freaky shit that the other wife wouldn't do.
Hello, tell it. Say it again one more time for the folks in the back. She was doing what?
Oh, she was doing the freaky shit.
All right.
And then I can't throw Steve away for his past marriages, but he was on that uplifting, because a lot of guys and people, that's why they mad at Kevin Samuel now, because they want to uplift and they want to pretty much give y'all a false narrative of what you can possibly have out there, and he was one of them. That's what I would say, but I ain't gonna trust Steve.
Tell the scenario. Where did the super guac? Oh, the freaky stuff. Yeah. The freaky stuff was the guac 5,000.
We know you the king. We know you the queen of the banana emoji. But keep going. What you about to say?
No, I was gonna tell you to give your scenario, because I felt like that was the most appropriate scenario of how Steve Harvey will sell it.
Oh, about how he would have approached a woman. You know, goddamn well. No, what he'll say. Huh?
She was cockeyed.
Even though you cockeyed, you go out there. You'll find you a good man. You'll find you a rich man. You'll find you a successful rich man. You don't have to settle for less, and you'll be a fool to settle. He'll pump their head up.
But that's
how
not Kevin Samuels was gonna do it.
Hell no.
Kevin Samuels gonna be like,
why do you want a rich man?
Exactly.
And why you can't settle for a man that is average? What do you? How you do the scale?
Yeah,
out of 1 to 10.
So, rate yourself. No makeup, just face alone. 1 to 10, and you can't
say 7. You can't say 7.
And then they all of them. And the one chick came with an 8. She said, no, you're 8. No, you're 5.
He did that to somebody. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One chick was honest. The average and best chick said she was a 5. And you're a 5 now.
And then he go to statistics on him.
He said, so you got kids? I got 1. Where's the daddy at? He said, no. I asked you, where's the daddy at? Because see, when he asks a question,
he just want the answer.
The answer, but no, a lot of people, when asked a question directly, if it's something that they're not comfortable with,
they're gonna beat around the bush.
They'll beat around the bush. Answering directly,
especially when he asks about their weight. How much you weigh?
How much do you weigh? Well, the last time I weighed myself.
How you do with the glasses? No. How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh?
I mean,
I will end your life. How much do you weigh?
It killed me when he did this, when he ran and talking about how old are you? Guess. How old are you? Guess. Fuck off, my life. Got time to play these games.
Ain't playing no games with you, man.
I mean, but that's the whole thing. You have those females that want the sugar-coated version, which is the Steve Harvey's version, the uplifting. But then you also have those that wanted to get the version from Kevin Samuels because they thought they were going to be able to change how he would speak to them.
That part. Good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you got the same terminology as the previous woman.
And not only that,
but all the mature people appreciate Kevin Samuels, talking to them women. And all the other ones that's on that sucker mentality, they hate him for it. Oh, he was dogging out women. He never dogged out the women like that, man. He just brought the women to reality. Reality is harsh.
So what I will say is, I can't say he didn't dog them out. But in his defense, if you give somebody an opportunity to be honest and forthcoming and straightforward, and they beat around the bush, what did he say? I give them what they give me.
Yeah, but dogging somebody out technically mean you lying and you dogging them out. You talking about him, you dogging them out. I didn't see him as dogging any of those females out. I just seen him bringing them to facts. Facts is harsh. People don't realize how hard facts is when you actually got to look at somebody and tell them, I'm sorry, but you are not qualified for what you're applying for.
What? Now that he said, that I think that was the.
You talking about Janet Jackson, though, girl?
A rich man didn't work out for Janet Jackson.
Neither did Bobby Brown.
But okay, ladies, understand there's a business and big money and pandering to facts. He's saying basically everything we're saying to what y'all want to hear and not what you need to hear. Steve Harvey and many other have a job and target audience to cater to. Mm-hmm. That is correct, and that's all I'm saying. I don't want to be part of the target audience. I don't feel like our podcast should be a part of the target audience to tell you what you need to feel good. We need to tell you the truth, because if you want to go somewhere and feel good and all that, but if you want the truth, come here, because what he's saying don't apply to everybody, but the people that's crying out are the ones that hurt because it's applying to them.
I'm sorry, but just hearing you say, if you want the truth, come here, like this giving me, if you're tired of your manager being all in the
all in the video,
come to death row. Like that's what that's giving me.
I mean, I'm saying, hey, it is what it is.
Tell Ray Bud hold his head up. We gonna hold you down.
That's
if y'all tired of y'all podcast groups, all in your comments, lying all in your face.
Sugar
come to Four Kings.
Come to Four Kings.
You
gotta load it.
Hold on. So I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna let y'all say it. I'm gonna narrate it. Go ahead. Go for it. Come on.
You tired of your podcast being all in the comments, lying and shit?
Come to Four Kings. Oh, we forgot.
Where's
Ray Bud, hold your head up. We gonna hold you down, Ray Bud. We gonna hold you down.
All right. So yeah, I feel like we got to utilize this platform to say the unbiased truth, and that's it. I mean, and everybody lives a different truth, but if we can expose both sides of it and have a common ground to stand on, I feel like we're in a better space than where we were when we started. We need to have real discussions filled with truth on both sides, men and women.
And
correct.
Y'all in the comments, y'all are accessible to call that number and give y'all truths on the show too. Y'all are more than welcome.
Oh shit, don't have Calvin call in. Calvin being called in like Kellen and it turned the damn thing out. I'm telling you. Now y'all don't know Calvin like I know Calvin.
Hey, something that's ironic though. This off subject a little bit, but it's still on subject. Who you got on your shirt?
Tupac.
Get it? We talking about Suge Knight.
Suge Knight, Lisa Ray in the video. It was a lot of death row shit going on.
Yeah. I was like, wow, they played perfect.
So
he definitely dogged women out.
Who dogged women?
That's what V was saying.
He did. Because like that one woman, he told her she was built like a linebacker.
It was just hard facts, man. You can't be.
I mean, I can see why,
right? Yeah.
Referring to them as big Shirleys and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
If they accept it like how it is, like the truth. If you sitting there talking about, oh, I'm slim, fine, and dying, and you built like Jerome Bettis, then somebody needs to tell you. Sweetie, you're not as all slim as you think you is, because you gonna miss opportunities along the way because you feeling like you deserve Morris Chestnut when you need a Forrest Whitaker. I'm just saying. People need to, because you need to. Because when you when I give that woman that false accusation of, okay, she like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm slim thick, and I'm fine, and her stomach is on her kneecaps. when you sit up there and say, yeah, you are fine. You are a fine woman, and I want you to, go out there and take it there. Now she's passing up the guys of her accessibility.
Yeah.
And
That's
then she's looking at this dude straight out the magazine,
thinking that she gonna take
ass, and he's looking at her as you a sad excuse, and we got to work on you. And before I settle down, because I done heard this many a time from many, and it's sad, but it's facts. I done heard this from many guys that's ripped up. Every time I talk to them, and you got a fat girlfriend. No, you ain't catch me with no fat girl.
Because your chick is a reflection of you.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
And it's sad. It's not. I'm not dogging them out. I'm not trying to dog them out.
Calvin, somebody gonna call right now. Calvin,
no, Calvin, we about to end, sweetie.
Yeah, but I said we got probably about 10 more minutes.
See, black people don't read. The number been on the screen every episode.
No.
But anyway, back to what I was saying real quick, just to end it. You have to be brutally honest with some people because that's the only way they get it.
V said it right. You do have to be in the mirror. And once again, the theme of this show is knowing your worth.
Right.
If I know, so here was my thing. I'm gonna use myself as an example because that's the point of reference that I can make. I'm college educated. When I came out of college, I had no kids. I was single, I was doing my thing. I had my own spot. I had a career. I was making salary money. It wasn't like I was just balling out of control because I was making that state money. State don't never pay you worth a damn. So they got some hellified benefits. So anyway, but I didn't stop there either. One of the things Kev had said was if you're not working 60 hours a week, you're fucking lazy. I literally had 2 and 3 jobs I was working. I literally did I worked Monday through Friday, had hustles that I would go work in the evening and was in grad school and was and then on the weekend I had another hustle that I would go get into. Yeah. So it wasn't like I was just sitting around on my dick or just sitting around, trying to go fuck on something. Yeah. I was literally
building your life.
Building my life. And if I ran into a woman and wanted to, spend time with her or whatever, we had to come to some kind of understanding, look, I ain't Scrooge McDuck with it. So we ain't going, this before the Steak 48. I was wearing Chili's outfit 2 for $20, okay? Because that was where it was going down for me at.
Chili's and Applebee's.
Chili's and Applebee's. And then if you hung around long enough, messing around with my wife.
Wait, real quick. I'm gonna let you dive back in your story. Let's see how that is. Not 2 for $20. Excluding the fact that it was some good food.
Yeah.
Not the 2 for $20.
And you may not have had to pay. You know what I'm saying? It was, because if I decided to pay and be like, cool, I can do that 2 for $20. But if you telling me now, then baby, you ain't the one. I'm dating within my financial means. Because I'm not finna let you take me over here and bust me up for $100 a plate, and I'm gonna be looking like this at the end of the night. So, what you finna do?
You be working, old boy.
Be like,
I didn't spend all this money. you ate that steak good.
We doing something.
So right. So I never wanted to put
your hands or something. You ain't getting away from me.
I never wanted to put myself in a situation, and I never want to put the woman in that situation where she feel like that either. So I tried to date within my range or within my realm of comfortability, but I'm still building and working on myself. So it was never, and I had those conversations where, if you pay for something, tell you how my wife won me over. When I met my wife, she paid the first day we went out. And at that point, I knew she was interested in me. I didn't have a problem with spending money or whatever, but I knew she was interested in me if she was willing to do that and do the free things before that. Before we went on our first date, we did free stuff before that. I met her. This is the cutest shit ever. I'm telling the story. Don't interrupt, please, because I'm going to make some points here. And don't make the noise that you're going to make. Okay? So, go ahead. I met her and we literally talked and walked around Randall's and didn't buy no groceries or nothing. Just we met because it was an in-between spot. I want to see you, want to talk, We met, we walked around and Randall's, talked. When we finally went out, we went to one of her favorite spots, was Chewy's, and she paid. I think she might have paid twice. That's what I'm saying. I knew she was interested in me. And what that showed was the investment part of that. Mm-hmm. So it was Chewy's and Cafe Adobe, which is no longer around.
Oh man.
So I had no problem going to my pocket and doing all of those other things. And we built things along the way. So it's a difference. It wasn't like I'm out here and not to say that, my wife isn't pretty and all that, this and third, but my wife wasn't one of them women that was out of my goddamn league. Like, mm-hmm. Like, oh, this bitch over here was, shit. My wife was not making six figures when I met her. She was not, all this. She accomplished things along the way, and I was there to support her as she accomplished those things. So that way, it wasn't like we built this together. Mm-hmm. Had I met her where she at right now, she probably been out of my league. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. and that's just being real. So you have to be able to date accordingly. Know your worth. I know my worth. I was single, no kids, college degree, was going back getting my master's, had my own stuff, had my life together. You couldn't tell me about me. I had my own car, so I didn't have to sit up here and ride the bus. I was paying my bills. I wasn't bumming money off people. I was going out and getting it. And a lot of men don't have that gumption. That's the part that Kev talked about that really needs to be focused on, because see, they were like, all he did was talk about women. No, he talked about men.
Yeah, he talked about men. He definitely
but we
did.
knew enough about ourselves to say,
I'm not calling in.
I'm not calling in. And you know what? You're right. I need to do that. That's what I need to apply in my life.
And he also said, he was like, I don't want to, we know how dudes is. I don't want to spend the rest of the talk. They talk about dudes all day long. Dudes, we get dogged out on the regular. That's just normal. He was like, we need to focus on something that's more than just that.
If you get a chance, go back and watch this one clip where he's riding in his car. And he said, if you are not a black man, he was talking about a party that he was at when he worked out here in the Woodlands. And
wait, what?
I got to read comment for comment. Men learn early and through life, the journey of life, we honestly live, and fit in. Women are lied to since young because we are taught not to hurt a woman's feelings. That's true. And then they grow into a grown woman who can't face reality. Part of that is true, part of it's not. And then they place rankings on life. Know the game and move accordingly to maximize your worth and value, men and women. Okay.
Good stuff.
And then V was like, "Oh, look at the widow baby. Y'all so damn cute. Shut up, V." He got on the men for real. He gave the business to everyone. Correct. And so, Chris, you knew your place. It means you dated accordingly and maxed out and was able to get a wife. If everyone knew and stayed in their lane, there wouldn't be no traffic. That is
good,
correct.
Lord. Yeah, you hit on the nail right there.
But if you get outside of that window and you meet somebody after they've accomplished stuff or now they have baggage, you got to adjust your shit. You got to adjust your parameters. I don't fit the criteria to date this person. Or if I do, now I have to accept certain things if I'm going to make this work. That goes both ways.
It do. I mean, and it's like I tell anybody that I date, I'm a package deal.
Yeah, you got children.
I have kids.
Yeah.
So if you don't already have kids, or if you know that you are not the one for kids, then don't waste your time with me.
That's facts.
Like, I'm going to date accordingly. I prefer someone that has kids that's actually active in their kids' life. Don't sit up here and tell me that.
Yeah, you definitely got to put that second
kids,
part.
I got kids, but I don't see them. So, ain't nothing we can do.
But see, and
a lot of dudes will be hiding it though.
No, but vetting, no, you can't hide that, bro. Vetting somebody. When it comes to getting to the nitty gritty of who people are, it's certain qualities like that reveal themselves and let you know this is not somebody you want to have kids with. If I already have one kid that I'm not taking care of, or I'm not in that child's life, why are you still sitting here dating me, or why are you still letting me fuck on you?
Nah,
You know
it's a lot of dudes that be hiding those facts. I swear they do.
But eventually,
and then they'll show you pictures and everything. Yeah, this is my son right here. I'm holding him and everything.
You can show me all the pictures you want, but I'm gonna be like, so why I ain't never met this child?
Not only that,
no, that's eventually after y'all go on. I'm talking about like first-hand appearances. Dudes be hiding that fact.
But what I say about properly vetting, because see, if you dated somebody any length of time, if they paying child support, they got some kind of visitation arrangement, unless it's some other stuff going on. So they would, I can't do it this weekend. I got my son or my daughter. I got my kids.
Oh yeah, that's gonna come up
right. That's gonna come up quick. So if they don't never come up,
you don't never got your dang kids.
Even when it has come up in situations, I'll be like, okay, we've been talking for X amount of time. You got your kids. I got my kids.
Let's link up.
My kids know who you are.
You
your kids know who I am. Why we just can't do something together?
Yeah, that's the niggas that be hiding stuff.
Blah. Okay, so let me just go ahead and just end this right now.
So, and you did right, because 9 times out of 10, if he hiding that fact,
right,
and or if it's not simple, because people make it difficult, but it's simple,
very simple.
But in situations like that, to where your child knows about me and my kids know about you, but we still haven't done anything collectively, that's going to make me feel like, okay, maybe you and your baby mama still got something going on.
Facts.
And 9 times out of 10, you're right.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, subscribe, follow. Man, that really, but like I said, properly vetting people is things about people that you see and you know, I should not be dealing with this person. And if I continue to deal with this person, then potentially I can end up in the same situation, you know, or if you don't find out, you have to do your due diligence when you're dating and just vetting people.
Yeah, you definitely do.
So it's just as much a woman's fault for laying down with a man as it is a man's fault for laying down with a woman.
I'm sorry.
You talking about the vibrating? Yeah, you got your rose going off.
That is not. That is not what that is. I do not own one of those. No. Okay. So the last point that I will make, I even tell people, like, if you know that you don't want to have any more kids, or you have basically fixed it to where you cannot have any more kids, don't get with a person
who want kids. Correct.
Because
that's insanity.
Even though you already have kids, yeah, they may take on that role, but eventually they're gonna want their own.
Correct.
And I can't give you that.
Correct.
So don't waste your time with me.
Eventually they're gonna want that family perspective.
Yeah.
If we have a kid, even if we have separate kids, we got a kid together, we can still raise a family.
Right. And so unfortunately, you come this way, I'm a package deal. You're gonna have to deal with these 3 as well.
It is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
I hope you got your own.
So valid points we made tonight. This is great conversation. I feel like it was a great show. Once again, y'all have been killing in the comments. Appreciate y'all for sticking with us. Appreciate all the support. Once again, RIP to the Godfather. And let's see what V saying. V said, come on, V.
Last comment of the night.
She said, people need to stop trying to change a person and move on to someone that is in their means.
Exactly.
That's the whole premise of everything.
No.
That's the whole premise.
Your worth.
There you go. You got to be real with yourself, with your star player, like you said, V. Marshik, it's all good. Appreciate you for chiming in with us.
Yeah, better late than never.
Better late than never. Yeah. But yeah, if you know I know what I'm worth at this point in time, or what my potential is. So just like I was telling my wife, I said, baby, we separate, get divorced, not to say that we will. I already know, based on where I'm at in my life and the responsibilities I got, I'm sugar daddy at this point. That's it. That's it. I ain't look at it. I can't do nothing for young. Look at it. I ain't got my 20-year-old body no more.
Right.
I'm at least a little bit more established and got some assets and some credibility and all of this here. But yeah, I can't do all the other stuff. If you wanna, we can take some trips or something like that. But we're gonna have to.
I don't even want to take no trips. I'm for real. I'm looking for a sugar daddy that is in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank. One that all I have to do is just talk to and rub his thigh, and he gonna put me in his wheel.
You gonna rub that up?
Oh, she's dirty.
Skin off of it, okay?
You wouldn't have to rub that hard if he that he got an oxygen tank.
I will even give him a sponge bath as long as it's from the stomach up. We good. Okay.
So, but yeah, at the end of the day, know your worth, kings and queens. Once again, in life, don't go where you are tolerated. Go where you're elevated and celebrated. Four Kings Podcast, ENT. Don't forget that ENT, because if you do, you're going to end up on some other stuff. It ain't us. Four Kings Podcast, ENT. We are out.
Welcome to the Four Kings.
Oh, Lord.